Welcome back, guys. Okay, today is going to be the Bash Mini build, the one I've been telling you about. This is an extremely overpowered build. It's actually the most strongest build in the game right now. There's bar none. It eats through everything. I'm going to showcase a little bit, explain the armor, the weapon, and the build. So stick around, check it out, and I hope you enjoy. All right, guys, let's go over everything real quick. We're going to go over the armor, the weapon, and the build. All right, first things first is the armor. This is a Vulcan set. I run Assassins, 2 Strength, Sentinel, and Rejuvenators. The only piece that's not Rejuvenators is a single piece, and that is more of a reflection, so you can stagger your opponent, whether it's PvP or PvE, it staggers them. And of course, with PvE, it obviously reflects damage back to your target. Super simple. Wear a jetpack. I wear a jetpack on my chest. I wear ultrasonic bracers on both arms because this will be additive to your damage. This applies poison and radiation. Yes, when it comes to ghouls, it does the radiation, but it does way more poison. So just FYI. This also works for heavy weapons. If you're using a holy fire or Tesla cannon, and you wear ultrasonic bracers, it will be additive damage. It will apply poison to whatever you're using. And also, let's see, I wear one elastic servos that gives me jump height, and I wear one calibrated. Now you can run both calibrated if you need a weight. If you just need to carry weight, there's nothing wrong with that. I use the elastic to give a little bit more jump height when I fight in PvP. As far as PvE, you don't really need it at all. I don't see any reason to use it, but it's completely up to you, and it does give you a massive jump height. Same thing, intelligence as any other. I will recommend the Vulcan over every PA in this game because of that AP regen. That that's very good. Like this, there's no reason. And the fusion core direction is obviously helpful too. But all right, guys, the weapon is a anti-armor bash damage. That is extremely important. You have to have bash damage. That's just part of the build. 3 strength. You can run 3 endurance or I guess durability, but I will say this: it doesn't break very fast at all. It takes a long time for this to break. When you're shooting bullets, it does break fast as intended. When you're using it for melee, it barely ever breaks. It takes forever. Also, as you see the additives, accelerated barrel is the actually the best mod. The tri barrel gives you a little more reach. For example, the barrel will be a little bit longer, but it will not give you the same amount of DPS. The accelerated barrel gives you way more DPS. Period. So I mean, you can either gain another foot of reach, or you can do probably around 30% more damage, etc. I do use pinpointers. Pinpointer does a massive amount of damage. I would say the best second roll would probably be polished. And like I said, it doesn't break very fast, so it would actually last a while because as long as you're 100% conditioned, you're getting the full 60% damage boost. Another reason why I would use pinpointers beyond the 50% more damage just by hitting something or someone anywhere, is it breaks PA extremely fast in PvP, like extremely fast. It also does a massive amount of damage to PvE, whether it be I don't know a behemoth super mutant or whatever, or even a snake. And I will show you a clip of the snake in just a second after I share the cards to show you just how much damage this thing does. All right, so super simple on the build, guys. It's actually straightforward. Travel pharmacy, you're in PA. You're gonna need this because you're gonna be heavy. Basher, yes, that is something that is an absolute must because in PvP or PvE, this is going to do a massive amount of damage because you get 50% damage to bashing and the limb damage. So it works for PvP and PvE, and you're going to get a massive jump in like damage overall. Blocker, this is up to you, but it comes to PvP, this is a must because you're going to be fighting other melee users more like 9 times out of 10, or even 10 times out of 11 times, or whatever you want to say. The majority of the time, over 90% of the time, you're going to be fighting other melee players. So yes, blocker is important. Blocker is also extremely useful for PvE because you're going to reduce your damage intake from everything that does any melee damage, which is like majority of the enemies besides Scorch and super mutants, etc., or even some robots. But you're going to be tanking damage so well, it's going to be absolutely insane. So, but it's still I mean, why not? There's really not much else you can use in this besides this. There are small little things you can use, like if you want to use, you know, like if you carry a lot of junk on you, you can use that as a PvE player, but it's completely up to you. But if you want to make yourself stupid tanky, use blocker. Incisor is obviously the one. This does work with Bash because it is a melee weapon. Even though it is a big gun, it gets the bonus of big gun, but it also gets the bonus of melee to a certain extent. Um, yeah, it's going to ignore 75% of armor of anything you touch, no matter what it is. Surrender Strength. This is the most important card in this build. This is what does the most damage. As you can see, it says expend a Marmite Glow to deal 150% more damage with power attacks and bashing. And that's what we want. FYI, you do not expend much glow with a bash build. For some reason, it's not taking away much glow at all while using this. The only time you're really going to lose a lot of glow is if you're being attacked by something or someone. I use Brick Wall because I don't like being staggered. So as long as your glow is high, you're not getting staggered. You will be staggered by Reflective, the 4-star mod for PA when it comes to people in PvP. When PvE, you're not going to get staggered pretty much ever. It's just not going to happen. I use Grenadier for PvP. You can use Green Thumb or something like that, like especially if you want to pick some like Snaptail Reed or do the little flowers and stuff for the T. But it's really a placeholder. It is up to you. I use Grenadier because a lot of unstable isotope. It does give you a larger radius explosion from that serum, and it does give you a slight bit of healing. And it also works kind of like a flashbang for me. That's the way I look at it. If you're in the middle of a fight and this pops off, it can blind you and your opponent, so it's harder to track you and it's harder to track them, but it gives you time to heal. Life Giver, that's a given. I don't care if you're fighting PvE or PvE. This is one of the most strongest. This is like the strongest card in endurance. This will give you a massive amount of HP, contribute to your endurance. I use Ironclad, obviously for more protection. And it says it's 25 more protection, so it literally gives you 25% more than your armor at just normal, but no buffs, nothing. It's going to give you a massive jump in ballistic energy reduction. Well, resistance, excuse me. Through Hiker, you're going to be having toxic goo. Whether you're a PvE or a PvP player, you'll have toxic goo on you. If you're a PvP player, you'll probably have quantums or some kind of cola on you. Absolute must. Good doggy. I use dog food to heal. As I said before, it gives you 188 HP per its tick rate, and when it's fully done, it gives you 180 total. So you can pop 3 of these, you get a massive amount of health. Stars Genes, like I said, I have certain mutations I run. I do not like to either gain more, and I don't want to take a chance, obviously, of losing them. I don't take it right away as a ghoul, but you can get more, and I don't really like that. Radiation power. Like I said before, this is another tenderizer. It just works off a glow instead of being hit first. That's literally all it is. It just is 20% damage boost to your whatever weapon you're using, which in this case would be Bash. It's going to give you 20% more boost of damage for just having the card. Glowing, obviously, again, this is a must because you need the rad, so toxic goo or toxic water, you're going to need this to keep your glow up as high as you can, as fast as you can. Instead of having to worry about, popping really quick, and like a lot of them, it may take only 1 or 2 to get your glow all the way up. And if you don't have this, it may take 5 to 6 to 10 to get your glow up. Just don't use it because the higher your health, the more it takes to fill. So, FYI. Party Boy for whiskey because the stronger your strength is, the more strength you have, or your whiskey or your vodka or your Duke Cold Dark, it's going to give you triple effects. You're going to get 75 health and 3 strength from vodka. You're going to get 6 strength from whiskey, and you're going to get 6 strength and 6 endurance from darks. So it's a personal preference, but for PvP, this is a must. Strange numbers, obvious. Everybody runs this thing because everybody's mutated. Make sure your mutations are stronger for 1 point of charisma. Suppressors, I use this for PvP. It works for PvE. And as soon as anything attacks you, they're going to do less damage. So, make yourself tanky. Make yourself hard to kill. There's no reason not to do this. United Ordeal, this one is, of course, just like Herb Mentality. It's a special. It's an additive to Herb Mentality. So you get 3 more to all specials. So, why not? Science Monster, as I said before, this is a bloody mess, but with a caveat of tenderizer. So, Yeah, I would use this in PvE or PvP at all times, period. So that's another good card. 15% bonus damage for anything. Why not? For 10 seconds, that's a long time. Stabilize. This does work in tandem to its sizer to an extent. It will overload because you only go to 90%. So you don't have to run a 3-star, but sometimes I take the sizer off and I run different cards. I'll run, say, like, what would be a martial arts, something like that. If I'm using like a bunch of melees besides the bash, I use it for weight distribution. But yeah, it works for every gun, even the bash. It still does the same thing. Packing light, I use this obviously for AP regen. I mean, you already have Vulcan. You're having two action, the action Ghoul, action Boy. So this is this extra action points regeneration, and that is one of the most important things playing this game. I use Dodgy for PvP. You can replace this with Born Survivor, or you can just not use it and put it somewhere else if you like. But yeah, this is what I use for PvP. Like I said, just take it off if you don't want to use it. You're worried about losing AP because you do use AP to crank up the minigun, so to speak. To use it, it does cost AP. So they say it's personal preference, but for PvP, this is a must. And PvE, it's unnecessary. Just use Born Survivor for more tankiness. I mean, to be honest, you're not going to die pretty much ever, but you know, just use that. Give yourself more AP, some more. It gives you more time to spend your gun up. And of course, they're both Action Boy and Action Ghoul because you do want that extra regen. One Armed Guard Army, yes, this works for everything. This works for anything, PvE or PvP. This will stagger an opponent who is a human. This will also stagger anything in the game. So, and the limb damage will apply to people not in PA and anything else in the game, whether it be the terror snake or a mole rat. It does the same stuff. Curator, because I do use bobbleheads and magazines when I'm using this build, or any build I use. Actually, I use bobbleheads and magazines to a certain extent. And for this one, I would say big guns would probably be the most useful bobblehead. You can use endurance or strength for either tankiness or a little bit of extra damage. And the magazines is up to you whether you want to use something that either gives you some tankiness or reduces AP costs. Completely up to you and completely up to you, period. Faulty spots, an additional bloody mess. So yes, run this all the time because this will do more damage just because you hit yellow. So if you hit a person, player, etc., or a superhuman behemoth in the face and do yellow numbers, it's going to give you 15% more damage. I run Class Freak, and what I do is I pop my suppressor, I suppress my serums, and I take that off and put on Bloody Mess. So you can run it all the time and not have to worry about Bloody Mess, or you can just don't worry about it and just run Class Freak and PvE. You'll be doing a massive amount of damage without this. You're fine. You're good. And yeah, that's pretty much it on that part. Let's go to legendaries. I run Funky Does because of poison resist. Sizzle style or Funky Does, up to you. Take one with team, a must in PvP, and an amazing card for PvE. I use strength, agility, endurance, and intelligence. I will show you one more thing because I'm going to show you the raw stats for the build real quick. Now, as far as the stats, because I didn't put in the last video as somebody commented, so let me do that now. Edit specials. This is your special layout. 15, 1, 15, 10. Intelligence I have 1 because I have a legendary, so I get 5, so 6. Agility 5, 9 luck. If there's anything you want to move around, look at this, and you'll be able to look at your cards if you want to move something around. Because in PvE, you don't need 15 endurance. You would need 10 to run exactly what I have. You just will be slightly less tanky, but it's not like the end of the world by any means, especially not PvE. It's not going to make a huge difference. And yeah, other than that, you can put that 5 somewhere else if you want to use like field surgeon and first aid and intelligence and maybe more luck. Maybe you want to use like luck of a draw or something like that, or just run bloody mess and class trick at the same time tandemly. You can do that too. Take those 5 points off, put 3 in luck, put 2 in intelligence, and now you have field surgeon and you have that and bloody mess and luck. So that's up to you, but that's the raw stats for this build. That is the build, that is the weapon, that is the armor. I'm going to show you some quick clips of the Bash Mini being used in PvP and PvE. I'm going to give you examples for both. They're going to be quick little shorts. I just want to show you the damage output. The person I was fighting was spamming heals as fast as he could, and the snake pretty much died really, really fast. I kind of messed up a little bit because my AP was kind of messing up, and I missed my jetpack walk, but he still died super, super fast. And you'll see just how bad it hurts the snake because he pretty much drops to the ground immediately. So I hope you enjoyed. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.
Ready?
3, 2, 1.
Oh
So
damn.
yeah, you can't survive this.